Welcome back to Cleveland Indians Baseball. I'm your host, Connor. Today, the Cleveland Indians are on the road to take on the 14-11 third-place Detroit Tigers in Comerica Park. The Cleveland Indians announced prior to this game that they acquired right fielder / left fielder / third baseman / first baseman prospect Stephen Piscotty from the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for minor league starting pitcher Cody Anderson and right fielder Oscar Moncrief. And Stephen Piscotty will be on the Major League squad. He was on the Major League squad for the St. Louis Cardinals, but they just did not have a spot for him every day. And the Cleveland Indians will be platooning him to start out, but we'll see how hot he gets. As you see the series recap against Detroit, Detroit took the first two from us, but we have come back and taken the last one. And so we will see how things go today. As Terry Francona is going to announce his lineup for this game: Jason Kipnis, Stephen Piscotty in left field, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes, Brandon Moss, Kevin Franz, and Michael Brantley playing center, David Murphy, and Francisco Lindor. Ben Revere needed a day off, so we gave him the day off. David Price, the left-hander on the mound, rough start to the year, but hopefully he can turn things around for the Detroit Tigers, one of the best starting pitchers in the game of baseball. And so we will see what he can deliver for his team today. Jason Kipnis steps into the batter's box to begin the game. He would work an 0-1 count. The pitch from Price is driven into left field, a line drive past the glove of Jose Iglesias, and that one will be a single. And so Stephen Piscotty steps into the batter's box for his first at-bat as a Cleveland Indian, and Jason Kipnis is taken off, and he will take second. So there's a runner at second for the young rookie, and he's going to ground this one to the shortstop, Iglesias, and he throws it over to first. So Stephen Piscotty cannot deliver a hit in his first at-bat. The next batter is going to fly this one to right field, and that is going to end the first inning with no runs for the Cleveland Indians, despite a leadoff hit by Jason Kipnis. No one could really perform in a role after that. So we head on to the bottom of the first inning, where Detroit will take the bats. We'll look at Brad Ausmus's lineup for his Detroit Tigers, a team that made it to the ALDS last year. Anthony Gose, Darren Ford, Miguel Cabrera at first, Adrian Beltre, John Jaso, the AL batting champion, JD Martinez, Ian Kinsler, Jose Iglesias, and Brian Holiday is behind the dish. Corey Kluber's on the mound, the 2014 American League Cy Young winner, off to a decent start this season, 3-1 with a 3.23 ERA and 27 strikeouts in 30 2/3 innings pitched, only 4 walks. So he really has a good strikeout to walk ratio this season from the looks of it, and we'll see if he can deliver an ace-like performance, as he got through the first two batters for Miguel Cabrera, who's hitting below 300 this season, to step into the batter's box. He worked a 2-2 count. The pitch, and it's a cutter, strike 3, as Miguel Cabrera swings through that. And so a scoreless first inning for both sides, as Corey Kluber has a 1-2-3 inning, and it's a tie game headed into the second inning at 0-0. Resume action in the top of the second inning with 1 out. Kevin Franz on the in the batter's box. 2 home runs so far in the early season. The lefty killer, and he takes this pitch from David Price into right field through the first and second baseman, and so he has himself a single. Michael Brantley is going to step into the box, hitting .274 on the young season. 0-2 count for him, and strike 3 swings through that, as that was not a good at-bat for him. 3 pitches, 3 down. David Murphy steps in on a pretty hot streak lately. Last 4 games, he's 8 for 16, hitting .500. His batting average is up .269 on the season. And he's first pitch swinging. That one's going into the gap, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Kevin Franzen is heading around third and going home. A run will score. David Murphy with an RBI double. Probably could have taken third, but he decided to stay at second, and so Francisco Lindor is going to step into the batter's box. Rough start to the year, the sophomore slump, I guess he could be attributed to that, but we're going to give him a shot to get his way out of it, as he swings at the first pitch, drives it into center field, but it will be caught by the center fielder, Anthony Gose. And so the Indians tack on a run in the top of the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. David Murphy's RBI double rolling all the way to the wall right there, and Kevin Franzen was on his horse on the way around. Bottom of the third inning, we're going to pick up action as Ian Kinsler steps into bat. Having a kind of rough start to the season. Works a 1-2 count. And he's going to swing at that one. A little dribbler back to the mound, and Yan Gomes picks it up, throws to first in time. Jose Iglesias, 5-game hitting streak. He's hitting 9 for 21 in that time span. 283 on the young season with a home run in the first month of action, as the first month wrapped up just today. 0-2 count. He works, 1 out. Pitch from Kluber is going to be taken to third base, and it will be thrown over to first by Kevin Franzen in time for the out. But it appears that Corey Kluber had an injury on the last pitch, and so Matt Latos is going to be coming out of the bullpen, as we just pushed everyone's starts up an extra day to accommodate for the unfortunate injury to Corey Kluber. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can return either for his next start or the start after that, and we don't have to make any long-term arrangements. Brian Holiday will be the first batter faced for Matt Latos on the day. He works 1-2 count. And the kick and the pitch, slider inside, strike 3 as Brian Holiday goes down on strikes, and we sit down the order as Detroit cannot do anything so far. End of the third, it's a 1-0 lead for Cleveland. Michael Brantley steps into the batter's box in the top of the 5th inning for the Indians, as David Price delivers, and this one is driven first pitch into right center field. Former Toronto Blue Jay Anthony Gose is over there to catch it, and he makes the grab, and David Murphy will now come up 1-for-1 so far on the game, 1 out, 2-1 count, and this is driven again for another base hit, most likely another double. And so David Murphy is having a pretty good start to the game as he continues his hot streak that he is on with 2 hits on this afternoon. Francisco Lindor steps in now, 0-0 count to start out the at-bat. 1 out, David Murphy on second. He works at 3-1. And the pitch from Price is driven into right field, and it looked like a base hit, but the scorer is going to rule that an error. So Brandon Moss would be in the batter's box now, and he strikes out with runners on the corners. That, was Jason Kipnis. Making a correction right there. Steven Piscotty comes up in a big spot right here as a Cleveland Indian. It's 2 outs, and this one's driven to right field, but it is caught by J.D. Martinez. So that ends the inning and the threat. But a 1-0 game still for Cleveland as we head on to the bottom of the 5th, where Detroit will pick up their bats and try and get something going. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, and J.D. Martinez, 0-for-1 on the day, will step into the batter's box to take an at-bat. 0-2 count, he works. The pitch from Latos is taken down the third base line, and Kevin Franzen drops the ball, cannot pick it up and throw it in time, and J.D. Martinez has himself an infield single as Ian Kinsler, 0-for-1 on the afternoon, steps into the box now. 0-0 count. First pitch from Latos is taken into left field, and this one could get out of here. No, it does not. Steven Piscotty jumped up against the wall trying to make a play. Michael Brantley comes over and covers in time and prevents the run on that at-bat. And the next batter, Jose Iglesias, would drive one up the middle, and that is going to score Martinez from third, but the second runner could only move up to third, and Anthony Gose will step in now, 1-for-2 on the afternoon. 1-2 count for him. And he takes that one right back up the middle, and that is going to be the second run for Detroit this inning, and so they take a lead. Darren Ford steps in, 307 on the young season so far, 0-0 count, and he's going to fly that one. It was close, but it's just warning track power as David Murphy has that out in right field, and so the Detroit Tigers in the bottom of the 5th inning take a 2-1 lead over the Cleveland Indians and finally got some offense going for them, as we head on to see if the Cleveland Indians can respond later on in the game. Top of the 6th inning, Yan Gomes, 0-for-2 on the day so far, but one of the Cleveland Indians' best hitters on the early season. 3-2, and he ties this game right back up. That one's deep, and that one's gone. No doubt about that. He knew right off the hit of the bat, a home run for Yan Gomes, and he continues to have a good start for his season. One of the better Cleveland Indians hitters this season. A lot of the hitters got off to rough starts, but Yan Gomes has been great the entire way, and he continues to be a good performer for the Cleveland Indians as he delivers a solo shot right there to tie up the game in a big situation. As Detroit's pitching, you never know with David Price on the mound if he could steal a game for you, but Brandon Moss will step in now. 2 outs, 0-1 count, 2-2 count now, as he works it up to this. 0-for-2 on the day so far, and he drives that one into the right center field gap, and that is going to get out of here for another home run. So back-to-back home runs for Yan Gomes and Brandon Moss, and it is a 3-2 game now, as David Price just made a couple of bad mistakes, and now he lost the lead that the offense got him. You know, they weren't really giving him some run support. They finally do, and he's not able to perform on it because he just makes a couple, bad locations. Michael Brantley steps in now with 2 outs. 0 for 2 so far on the day. But he is one of the better players on the team, so we'll see if he can deliver here too. 2-2 count, and this is lazily flied into left field. John Jaso will be over there to catch that one. And the damage is done, though, by the Cleveland Indians as they take a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll see if the Detroit Tigers can respond to that or not. We'll take a look at the game after 6 innings. Yan Gomes 1 for 3 with a solo home run. Ian Kinsler 1 for 2 with a double. And Corey Kluber pitched those 2 2/3 innings, picking up 3 strikeouts in the process before he had to be pulled due to injury. We'll pick things up here later on in the game as Tom Gorzelani is on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. Another left-hander, former Milwaukee Brewer. Ben Revere came off the bench to pinch hit in the top of the 9th inning as nothing was happening until then. He has a 1-0 count, 1 out, and he slaps that one at the second baseman, can't field it, and so Ben Revere will be on base. And Ben Revere stole second for David Murphy, and David Murphy continues to be hot as he drives that one into right field with authority. A 2-run bomb for David Murphy, and he is just absolutely on fire right now. There's not a hotter hitter in baseball, or at least in the American League, than David Murphy at this current moment. He is 12 for his last 20, and he just continues to perform. Or, excuse me, I'll make a correction on that. 11 for his last 19. And Blaine Hardy would come in out of the bullpen now, as Tom Gorzelani did enough damage in his time in the game. He pitched more than just this inning, but nothing happened in the other innings, so we decided not to show that during this rebroadcast. And so Francisco Lindor is up to bat against the left-hander, 3-1 count, and he is going to draw a walk, and so there will be a runner on first base for Jason Kipnis, who was 1 for 4 on this afternoon. 1-0 count, the pitch from Hardy, and that is driven into right field, a line drive for Jason Kipnis, and Francisco Lindor is headed to third base. He will make it there in time, and so there are runners on the corners as Al Albuquerque enters the game for Detroit. Not having a great start to the season so far, but we're hoping he can pick it up if you're a Detroit fan. But not right there. His first pitch of the game is a wild pitch, and that is going to allow the runner to score. Francisco Lindor comes in, and that will be another run. And then this is going to be driven to left field, a double off the wall. And so the Cleveland Indians add yet another run right there as the runner tried to go to third but could not make it. Carlos Santana is not the fastest runner in the world, obviously. And it doesn't matter, though, because the Cleveland Indians already extended their lead to 7-2, as we're going to see if they can shut it down in the bottom of the 9th. Ben Revere will stay in the game as the game's center fielder for the Cleveland Indians to play defense in the bottom of the 9th. John Jaso steps in the batter's box. Matt Latos still on the mound, only thrown 78 pitches so far today. Trying to get the best out of him since he won't be able to make his start tomorrow. He induces a fly out to begin the inning as Ben Revere gets his first fielding chance of the game, and he converts successfully. JD Martinez steps in now, 1 for 3 so far in the day. He singled and scored a run. 0-2 count, and he swings through that slider. Latos' best pitch so far in the season. Jose Iglesias, the final batter of the game, after throwing a wild pitch, the runner advanced that was already on base, but Jose Iglesias was not able to perform as he pops that one up, and the game is over. Cleveland wins 7-2 and moves to 16-10 on the season. Detroit will move to 14-12. Not such a great start after making it to the ALDS last season. They're having a slow start to the year, but the game is not played in the first 2 months. It is how you perform throughout the season, and they're hoping they can pick it up because they have not started out well. On behalf of the Indians broadcast team, I'd like to thank you for watching, and hope you join us next time when the Cleveland Indians will be again taking on the Detroit Tigers, but this time at home. So, again, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoy, and stay tuned for more Indians baseball.